So we're here for Weekend Wellbeing on the Weekend Wind Down Show. I'm Nathan Thomas, and I'm joined today, as ever, by Karen Ferguson from the Maven Club. Hello, Karen. Good to see you again.
Hi Nathan, great to see you.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, really well. Had a nice morning, and I've been catching up with all lovely people in my work today, so it always makes you feel good.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? Fantastic. It's really great to see you again and back for another Weekend Wellbeing. This is all about sort of bringing you we're just taking a moment to think about how we can look after our wellbeing, which is something that can be on the back burner when we're so busy and in a world where it seems like it's non-stop, isn't it? We've talked about this before,
Mm,
but because of certain
hmm
technology, we have the amazing freedom to talk to people around the world, but it also means that it's hard sometimes to get that peace and quiet that would have been so easily attainable before.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just about being intentional to sort of stop and reflect and just even think about how you're feeling and what's
Mm.
going on. So hopefully these times just help people to stop before they start their weekend properly and think about what they're going to do this weekend to look after their well-being.
Yeah, definitely. Really great to see you again, and really curious to know what you've got for us this week.
Well, this week I want us to just focus on this theme of kindness. So, actually, it's going to be in the Pure Media magazine in the November edition. I just talk a little bit more about this as well. So, hopefully, your listeners are reading the magazine as well. And so they won't be able to escape kindness at the moment as we focus on that. But I'm sure that many people have heard of the movement, the initiative about random acts of kindness. And that's been something that's been going for a long time and really was initiated because of a bit of a response to the level of negativity in the news and just thinking, can't we make kindness the norm? What a great sort of tagline, hey? Let's just make kindness our norm.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic thing, and it's particularly lovely when just those acts of kindness towards strangers can be the difference for them. You never really know what's going on in other people's lives, do you? And if we make it our norm to be kind, it might be something that really does impact somebody. Even if we never get to find that out, at least spreading kindness, it's contagious, and that should just be something that we get excited about doing. But I actually wanted us to think this weekend a little bit more about perhaps being a bit more intentional about our acts of kindness. So, yes, please engage and make it your norm for random acts of kindness. But sometimes the people that are nearest and dearest to us, they end up getting the worst of us, don't they? They end up getting the worst versions of us. And obviously, some of that is because there's safety in those relationships. But um, sometimes we save our worst for the ones that we care about the most. And so I wanted us to consider that if we were to embrace random acts of kindness being our norm and being kind as our norm, then what does it look like to intentionally be kind to those that we really do care about? So that might be our family members, or it might be friends that we have, or colleagues that we work with. And so I have created a little game that I want to challenge everybody to play. And why not start this weekend? So I would like you to think. I'm going to put it in your context, Nathan. So you've got four other members of your family that you live with. So I would suggest that you get some little post-it notes and you write each name of each family member on a post-it, and then you just fold that up, maybe pop that into a hat or a glass or something like that. And then on other post-it notes, you put four acts of kindness. So you might put on one, make a cup of tea for somebody, or you might decide to write a nice note to somebody, or perhaps do a chore for them, or buy them a nice cake or make a cake, whatever it might be. But you would write a few different things on a post-it, And then you'd go and you'd pick out the first name of the hat, and then you'd pick out an act of kindness and you'd pair that up and you make it your task that weekend to do it. So you pull your dabs out and and it says, make a cup of tea. And at some point over the weekend, you just make him a cup of tea just out of kindness. Or maybe you've got one that it's do a chore and you get a brother's name and they were meant to clean the bathrooms, but you do it for them as an act of kindness. What a fun pick and mix game that you can take to all sorts of extreme levels. But won't that really bless people that you care about if you were to do that? So for others, it might be that they want to do that in a friendship way, or they might want to do it in with their colleagues. But the principle is super simple. So my challenge this weekend is for that pairing game of kindness. Just really simple, easy to achieve, things that you can do. So probably not, build a house or something like that you probably won't achieve in a weekend. But some of these simple things that are just acts of kindness, and be really intentional about going after the people that you really care about and start to have some fun being kind.
That's a really good top tip, I think, and something we could easily all put into place. I mean, being kind. I mean, really, as you say, it should just come naturally. It should be something that is just a part of our everyday lives. But sometimes we can actually,
Mhm.
I suppose, do something kind more deliberately. We can plan for something kind, and something that requires a bit more preparation, perhaps a bigger act of kindness, if you will. And I
Yeah.
love that idea. I've just put out some post-its, something that will remind you to carry out some sort of act of kindness, something simple. Making a cup of tea, honestly, it has such benefits. It's hard to measure a cup of
Mhm.
tea. So yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, it's nice and achievable and it can be fun at the same time. It doesn't have to cost any money, but isn't it great just to think that you're going to be intentional about being kind to those that you care about? And the more that we practice these things, the more those become our natural habits. So it becomes easier to do it. I genuinely don't think that anyone is deliberately unkind. It's just that we sometimes forget to be kind because we're so busy. So it's good. It's really good to make it a decision to be kind to those you care about.
Very true. And then when it comes to anything really, if you when you commit time to something or commit brain power to something, it's more likely to happen,
Hmm.
isn't it? If you just think, well, I'll get to it when I
Absolutely.
get to it, it's not as likely to happen. So in this case, actually thinking, okay, I'm going to actually deliberately pursue an act of kindness. And that's
Yeah.
really important because, it can be easy to let that sort of, like you say, when we're with people we know very well, we can easily sort of become, I guess, more honest. And that's really good and healthy to be more open. But
Hmm.
sometimes we can actually forget that also should mean we're even more kind to them, even more caring, even more thoughtful with those people we
Mm,
know well. So yeah, thank you so much,
absolutely.
Karen, for joining us today and bringing us this great little thing we can all try. And we'd love to hear
Thank
how
you.
you get on with this pursuing a more deliberate act of kindness. Maybe you want post-it notes. Maybe there's something else. Maybe you've got like a big chalkboard. You can write something on it. I don't know. Whatever
Oh,
works for
fun.
you. Thank you so much,
Uh-huh.
Karen. Good to see you again.
Thanks, Nathan. Bye.